Hey, how you doing out there? This is Bob on Bob's Blues and the news coming to you directly from Atlanta, Georgia. Just giving you my 3 cents. Make sure I got the song off in the background. That's a little tune I done did and released about a year or so ago. Too much news. Yeah, it really is. I mean, I I yearn for those days. I don't know when they were. I can't so far back. Maybe I don't know before 9/11. You can debate on when that watershed event happened that really changed the world, where we have so much chaos and wars and uh, intrigues and corruption going on all the time that every time you turn on the news, you're shocked or, you're concerned because the world is not going in the right direction. So maybe since 9/11, the world has not been going in the right direction. Of course, you could take it back further than that. Excuse me. Oh, the pollen is terrible. Like I said, I'm in line now. Excuse me. Um, oh, I'm okay. Really, I'm okay. Take my word for it. I mean, I could start the podcast over again. But the pollen is killing me here. Talking about too much news, there's too much pollen. And we need rain here in Atlanta. It gets warm one day and then cool the next, back and forth. Been doing that for quite a while. But mainly what we need in Atlanta, Georgia right now, or this part of the country, is some rain because of all the stuff in the air. But it is pretty, the spring and the flowers, all that kind of stuff. That's nice to watch, to look at. And I enjoy the spring. Atlanta usually is pretty good in the spring and the fall. It's not too extreme, depending on the year. So anyway, I'm not going to start the podcast over again because I was coughing. I mean, that's just part of let's say it's off the cuff. You know what I mean? This is not polished stuff. You want polished stuff. Watch, I don't know, the legacy media, the TV. This is really, coming from the heart, coming from my personal view. And I play a little music at the same time, like Too Much News, my tune. And, I just tell you the way I feel about things. And you can like it or you can lump it. But it's good for me to get out here. Even if I don't get a big audience, it's good for me just to get it off my chest, because I am an observer of the world. And I think people do have to speak up more against the evil and against the corruption that takes place in the world. I think it's your duty, if you believe in freedom, if you believe in liberty, if you believe in justice, if you believe in God. I think you have to be vocal about it. Some people are hesitant about being vocal because they feel like, oh, it's Lashon Hara, or Lashon Hara is basically talking bad about people. So, true, you don't really want to talk bad about people, but you do have to pick out and point out evil when you see it. And people don't want to get too involved because, they may get some aggression against themselves on social media or wherever from people who think differently. But you have to have courage, and we need a lot of courage in this world. And I give Trump a lot of benefit for having the courage. I'm just wondering if he's going to be able to win this 400-year-old war. You say, whoa, 400-year-old war? What are you talking about? We just started this war in Iran not too long ago, about 6-7 weeks ago. What's going on with that? Well, you have to realize you're fighting Islam. There's a lot of things at play, but Islam has been around for like 1,400 years, give or take a few years. And they have been an aggressive religion because they believe in aggressively taking over other countries in the name of Islam. And one of the questions they did during the Crusades, even though they were fighting against Islam too, really, basically. They went to the Holy Land. But, the Christians believe in having world empires and forcing people to believe in their religion. Well, the Islamists do the same thing today. So a lot of wars are fought because of religion. There's always often a religious background to it. And Trump is fighting a 1,400-year-old war with the Islamists. And, they've always, especially what segment of Islam you're talking about, because there's so many clans, there's so many tribes, but basically there's a Sunni and a Shiite. And the Shia seems to be the most aggressive, where they want to bring back this 12th Imam, this Male, or something, their Messiah to save the world, in order to bring the world to their recognition of redemption, is to make sure everybody becomes Muslim. And that's not going to go away, even though if Trump makes a deal with Iran tonight, which he probably won't. I mean, going back and forth. He's in Pakistan again tonight, trying to make a deal with these crazies in Iran. And, it's not it's not going to work, but so much. So is it forever war? Yeah, it's a forever war, 1,400 years. But there is a way to keep it under control. And that is with a strong hand. And Trump is showing that. So you have to realize that it's a hard fought battle, because anytime you kill these guys, they got other people to come and take their place, because it's just in the part of the world, you have so many of these Islamists who think the same way. And they're tribal, they're halfway savages. I'm not saying they're not intelligent, but the way they treat the women, the way they treat humanity as a whole, and the way they believe in the death cult, they really are savages. And so I don't think they believe in the same God I believe in, but we can get into a theological argument about that. And there are good Arabs, there are good Muslims, like there in every ethnic group. You have your good and the bad. But this whole deal recently, in recent history, started in the 19th century, when the Muslim Brotherhood was first formed. From my understanding, the Ottoman Empire was coming to an end. After the First World War, basically the Ottoman Empire was defeated, and all these countries broke up into pieces, and the Europeans decided, well, we're going to make this territory over here Syria, and that territory over there Lebanon, and that territory over there Jordan, and that territory over there Israel. And they tried to divide everything up, but they didn't have any recognition of the various tribes that lived in these geographical areas. So you put tribes together that didn't like each other. And the only way you have really stability in the Arab world is to have a strong man, a head of the clan, head of the tribe, like in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. You see the more or less stable societies, whether you believe in their politics or not, because they're led by a tribe and a tribal leader, more or less. You could look at it that way. But so where I was going, with the Brotherhood, because they were fighting to gain back their prestige after the Ottoman Empire fell. And they've been planning this, for over 100 years, to infiltrate Western society. They can do it aggressively, to warfare, or they do it, soft power, the way they're doing it in Europe, and then here in the United States as well, by, infiltrating the institutions, by doing everything they can, using psychology and marketing and promotion and paying off people, like they paid off a lot of the professors in our institutions, where all the kids grew up sympathetic to the jihadists. And now we are in a state where, the world is fighting against these guys. And Trump is doing the best he can. And he does more or less have the upper hand. But I hope he realizes that this is an ongoing battle. And even though he might put down the RGC to a certain extent, and he might put down the other bad guys, and Israel's doing all he can too as well, against Hezbollah and Hamas. So you can put all these guys down, you can kill them all as much as you can, but there are going to be other people to take their place continuously. So the only way you can really win is to isolate them in the best way you can, and to keep them under control the best way you can. But you have to realize they're always going to be there. So you always have to be on your guard. And that's just the state of affairs. And so it's not going to be like how we, won the war in World War II, and Germany was totally defeated, or the Japanese were totally defeated, and they had to build their civilization from scratch over again. I mean, it's possible in Iran the people can rise up if they have enough support, but you're going to need boots on the ground really to do that. So I'm not sure where this is going, but it's, like you said, you have to see it in the right context. It's a 1,400-year-old war that we're fighting. Anyway, this is about, I'm sorry about those coughs earlier. I really don't. Hopefully we'll get some rain here pretty soon and calm down the pollen. And anyway, it's a new week, so have a good one. Take care of yourself. Know your priorities. And we love you all. Take care.
Some say Jesus is on his way. Some say he's working for the CIA. Some say they want Mashiach now. But I don't know when.